The United States of America and the current administration came to power precisely under slogans. If we talk about their international interests and campaign promises, specifically the settlement of the situation in Ukraine, this was the central topic. It is obvious, and I think this has already been proven by the current situation and by previous years, that with militarization and arms supplies, especially to a terrorist regime, no one will see any settlement. And even less so will there be any chance of fulfilling those very campaign promises that this very administration made, the one that is currently in power. International scientific cooperation has always been important. There has never been an era when it did not yield results. Why is the development of scientific exchanges and international connections in the scientific field especially relevant today? I think it's because this is one of the answers to the challenges of our time. Look at how today, yes, a global minority, but still a certain number of countries are striving to sow, if not outright aggression in the literal sense of the word, although it seems to me that's exactly what it is, then certainly chaos. Or chaos that, from their point of view, is supposed to end with yet another terrible catastrophe. It seems to me that it is important now to develop all areas that show the world community and prove accordingly that there are other ways of living, doing business, interacting, and cooperating. That there are ways of communication and building relationships between countries and peoples that are not just good in theory, but good in practice, because they are not only admirable for their peacefulness, but also bring concrete benefits and tangible results. Our country has something to offer. We have been doing this our whole lives. Scientific achievements, scientific developments, and combined with our fantastic resource base, we are truly unique in this regard. But this in turn provokes hatred that turns into aggression. From that very global minority for whom we are like a thorn in their side, in terms of what we are ready to offer the world on the basis of mutual respect, legal principles of interaction and cooperation, and not to join them in order to rule the world on those very same colonial foundations. As for BRICS, it is precisely an alliance of like-minded countries who view science, technology, culture, and resource bases from similar and, in fact, essentially identical positions to ours. The United States of America and the current administration came to power precisely under slogans. If we talk about their international interests and campaign promises, specifically the settlement of the situation in Ukraine, this was the central topic. It is obvious, and I think this has already been proven by the current situation and by previous years, that with militarization and arms supplies, especially to a terrorist regime, no one will see any settlement. And even less so will there be any chance of fulfilling those very campaign promises that this very administration made, the one that is currently in power. The statements that were made, the steps that were taken by the Trump administration toward political and diplomatic resolution, they truly inspired optimism, and it was precisely these that representatives of the global majority looked to. While this global minority, to be honest, has already worn them out with its provocations. Therefore, we proceed from the fact that these were campaign promises made both to the electorate within the United States of America and as a serious statement on the international stage. That the administration, which at that time was incoming and now already exists in the United States of America, is capable of choosing not aggression or provocation, but deep work to eliminate the root causes, in order to resolve the crisis, not to make it worse. Foreign journalists often ask tricky questions about what exactly is so special about Russia. From a scientific point of view, in the scientific cluster, in the scientific field, other countries make better cars. You can also find areas in the service sector elsewhere, and genes are sown in other parts of the world. What can Russia offer in this regard? I give you all the answer. We build nuclear power plants. And that's why this very session is being held right here in this pavilion, in the Atom Pavilion at VDNH. You couldn't find a better place because this truly represents the modern face of Russia from a scientific perspective, from an educational perspective, and from the point of view of tourism, both domestic and international, since these plants operate both within our country and abroad. And moreover, for many countries the nuclear power plants built by Russia have become a source of special national pride. And people within these countries come just to see the achievements of their own nations, made possible by the efforts of our country.